This is 210 Local Music Podcast. We bring art, music, and entertainment to you straight from the Alamo City in San Antonio, Texas, where the culture of our past and the innovation and creativity of tomorrow collide. We're there. You can find us online at www.210localmusic.com, on Twitter, and don't forget to like our fan page on Facebook. Here's your host, Mario Zamora.
Thanks again for tuning into 210 Local Music Podcast. I want to start off by thanking Michelle Celeste again for coming on the show and discussing touring and allowing me to kind of take a peek into her life and her experiences. This episode, we get to dive in a little bit more. I wanted to see what advice she would offer anybody who might be interested in becoming a tour manager, how they go about it, or hints and tips for the road, or just general experiences to share, because I'm sure there's people out there that are definitely curious about it. I know when the girls were looking for Michelle's replacement, when she decided she needed to try to settle down for a little bit, that I'm sure they got plenty of people that wanted to be a tour manager, but I'm sure the question ran across everybody's mind, well, what exactly does that entail? So in this episode, Michelle's going to go over a little bit of that, and towards the end, we're going to get a little bit of a teaser for what the next episode's going to be like, and we can thank my wife for extending it to a 3-episode show by just asking one simple question. So definitely keep your ears open for the end of this interview, and which leads into the beginning of the next one.
This is Michelle Celeste, and you're listening to 210 Local Music Podcast.
If a person wanted to get into being a tour manager, what advice would you give them aside from telling this story as well? Because that's something that could probably help somebody in the future.
If you want to do tour managing, of course you have to have a band that you support 100%. Because I've been on the road with bands that have toured with the girls. They don't like their music at all. Like, it's to the point where, I mean, good for them to be out there doing their music that they love to do, and that's awesome. But there's times when I'm just like, oh my god, like I would not be able to tour manage a band that I did not enjoy listening to every night, because you're gonna listen to them every single night, whether you want to or not. So there was times when you just like, when the bands that I don't like listening to would be on the road with us, I would put headphones in, like, or I would just get out of there. Like, all right, the girls are not on right now.
So have an escape plan or an iPod.
Yes, please, because there will be bands that you're just like, oh my god. Or sometimes there's like local music that, you know, whatever show you're doing, and the venue decides to put some local music on, which is fine. I'm all for local support. I mean, you know, local talent and everything. That's awesome. But sometimes it's shit. Like, the music is just horrible, and it's like, wow, this band just like formed yesterday, because that's what it sounds like. So I would say find a band that you really enjoy listening to. You know, if you are a fan of them before you even start working with them, then that's even better, because then you just don't be a crazy fan. But then you can appreciate their success. You can appreciate how you can, like, I mean, there's times when the first time I heard Yo Oigo live, that was one of those moments. And it's funny because you wouldn't think so, but I'm very emotional, like, especially when it comes to like movies and some commercials and like random shit. The girls are always talking shit about it. But yeah, so I cry, I tear up. And when I first heard Yo Oigo, I don't even remember where we were at, but I remember it was for we did a few shows with the Toadies, and it was, I think, the first one, and the girls were on stage sound checking, and it was their first time that they were going to play it live, so they played it, and I remember I was setting up merch, and I remember like standing up and listening to the whole song, and like my eyes just got real teary-eyed. Like, it was beautiful, because I absolutely love that song.
It is a wonderful song.
Yeah.
And that was going to be one of my questions, was what's your favorite song? But I mean, this is obviously definitely top rank, right?
Yes, I absolutely love this song live. Like, I love it. And so that was the first time that I heard it, and I remember afterwards I was like, oh my god, everybody's gonna love this song, and I was like, I brought tears to my eyes, and of course they're laughing at me.
Making fun of you.
Yeah, of course. They call me Maria. They say because, which is kind of messed up because Fonnie and Nina's mom's name is Maria, but they call me Maria because, well, they say that I have a Mexican accent, which I think I just have a West Side accent.
A little bit.
Yeah. I mean, I'm already used to it. I'm whatever about
An
it
accent's
now.
an accent.
Yeah, and
People say I sound like, I don't even know, like I'm from Ohio. I was born and raised in San Antonio, never left, so I don't know.
yeah, you know what? You do have a different accent. I would say that you have, I don't know what kind, but yeah.
Can't put your finger on it, right?
But yeah, so the girls, they call me Maria. They say that I sound like Mexican. In fact, one time we were leaving Detroit, and when we left Detroit, because we don't like to stay in Detroit, because it's really bad. So.
Yeah, I don't think most people do.
Yeah, so we'll drive out, and for some reason we didn't have a hotel book, because we just figured we'll just keep driving, and then when we see, so we'll just, wherever we see, we'll stop.
Yeah.
Well, everywhere was booked. I don't know what was going on at that time, but every single hotel that we were calling was booked. Like, and it was like no vacancy anywhere, and it was weird. It was kind of like Twilight Zone-ish.
Yeah.
It was like,
well, it's already Detroit.
every
You got to
single,
deal with that.
It was crazy because every single hotel was booked, and it was weird. So then I'm on phone and I'm calling different hotels. You know, we're looking at the GPS. I'm calling them and getting their numbers and like all this stuff, and calling them. And the girls are telling me that they're answering the phone, and they're like, and that I'm calling the hotels, and they're saying, Maria, is this you? You know you get a discount, and like just being stupid, like if I'm a cleaning lady.
That's messed up.
But it's funny, like just so stupid.
Well, if you were a guy, then they'd say you were the lawn guy or something.
Yeah, probably. But yeah, so as far as like tour managing goes, I would just say, you know, make sure you love the band or at least like them, the band that you are tour managing, because you're going to be listening to their music a lot, and you're going to have to really, I mean, like, when people come up and ask you about it, you're going to really want to have some passion behind whatever it is that you're saying.
Right.
So yeah, you can, you don't have to be artificial about it, like, oh yeah, you know, they're good, when you don't really feel it. I mean, it's known. You can tell when somebody is totally not into whatever they're doing. So yeah, I would say pick a band that you like, and then organization is key. And I guess that's with any job, really. But the more organized that you are, the better, especially in this business. Like, if you know where everything's at, then that's even better. And have, like, gadgets that you're able to have. Like, I always have markers ready for the girls. I always have gum ready for the girls. Because, I mean, they're going to talk to people, and I don't need their breath smelling, and they don't need that. And, you know, I mean, so gum's always good, markers to sign, and be friendly, be willing to take the picture to make sure that if the person wants a picture with them, tell them, get in it, I'll take it, you know, stuff like that. And just be on top of what needs to be done, make sure that it's done, that way you don't have to worry about it, and there's no stress on the band. And I think that's the most important, is that the band is not worrying about anything. I mean, just let them be. Make it as smooth for them as possible. Exactly.
Well, have you ever thought about teaching others how to be tour managers, or?
No, I guess I haven't. Like when, no.
Would you, if something came up to where you could help other people with bands that you love but can't tour with, help get them set up?
Yeah, I mean, the thing about it is like there's different levels of bands. Well, you know that. Like, you know, there's the bands that are just starting out. So they're like the little fish, you know, swimming in the pond. And then you have the middle-sized fish. I would say the girl in Coma is in that area, middle-sized, you know. And then there's like the big fish,
right?
You know, tour bus, yeah, all that good stuff. So those tour managers have a lot more on their plate, and in fact, I mean, because like there's so much more to do when you have a big act like that. You also have a lot more help too. But as far as like middle size goes, I mean, I would definitely be able, like, I would not mind giving pointers to people, but as far as like teaching, I don't think I would be able to do that, just because I don't feel like, or I don't know, maybe I don't have I don't feel that I have the knowledge to
impart.
Yeah.
After almost 3 years.
Well, I mean, I know. I don't know. I guess I just am not giving myself enough credit. But because
you're humble. There's nothing wrong with being humble.
I think it's just I would give people pointers. Let's say that.
Just leave it at that then?
Yeah, like I would if somebody came and asked me like, hey,
how do I deal with this situation?
I would be like, yeah, look, this is what you should do, or and I've had people like ask me on Facebook like, hey, can I ask you a few questions about this or about doing this, and if I know the answers, I'll definitely tell them. And if I don't, I'm not going to just blow smoke up their ass.
Right.
I'll tell them, be like, well, okay, well, if you are make sure to get the time that you have to load in, make sure to do this, make sure to do that. Ask these questions, ask those questions. Like, make sure that you find out everything you need to know before you go. And if you are doing a door deal, make sure that you keep count of who's going in and everything, so you can actually see
and hold accountable.
Yeah. And then also if you're doing, if you have a guarantee, well, then get it in writing. Mm-hmm. A lot of people don't do that, and so they mess up because then the promoter's just like, oh, well, I don't know. It's like, no, we had this.
And that's when you earn the nickname Knuckles.
Yeah. But see, that's the thing. Like, the girls have contracts, and they have all that stuff. So when people, because it's like, hello, read this. This is how much you got to give us. Pay up.
Was it always like that from the beginning with them, at least?
From the beginning with me, with them, yes. Mm-hmm. They already had all that going on. So I just kind of jumped in and started swimming. So it was cool.
If you're interested in advertising with 210 Local Music Podcast, please contact me at 210localmusic@gmail.com. You can also find me on Square at www.squareup.com/market/210-local-music.
So what would you say is the hardest thing about being a tour manager?
You have a lot of stress. Because you have, like, Faith is their manager. Mm-hmm. So if anything is going on or Faith needs something, I have to drop what I'm doing to help Faith do whatever she needs me to do. And then at the same time, I still have to do whatever I got to do for the girls.
Right.
So, I mean, it can be stressful at times, but I think the positive of all of it outweighs any kind of stress that there is. But yeah, it can be stressful. You're away all the time, especially, well, it depends on the band that you're touring with. If they tour a lot, then you are gone a lot.
Yeah.
So it can put I don't know, like, my mom, she gets sad when I'm gone a lot. I guess that's any mom.
Yeah, pretty much. Mine gets mad if I don't call for a week.
No, my mom, I think my mom has already she's already made peace with the fact that I don't like to be around a lot, or I don't like to be here,
in one place.
Here, yeah. She's already, she calls me her wild child, like, just kind of, it's funny, like, my grandma used to call me her flower child, like a little hippie girl, because I have always had that free spirit. I always wanted to be away and do what I wanted to do, and so I guess my grandma saw it early on. My mom's just now realizing, like, oh, I guess this is just the way Michelle is.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, I am. Tour managing, it's fun. It can be stressful, but that's any job. But the experience outweighs anything negative, and there really isn't anything negative about that job. Like, I mean, how many jobs are you able to spend time with your friends, your best friends, all day long, enjoying each other's company, and getting paid to do it on top of that? How many jobs can you travel and see just about, since being with the girls, I have seen just about almost I've been to every state in the United States.
At least once.
Yeah, except for Alaska and Hawaii, of course. But at least once, yeah. And mostly every single major city.
Wow.
So how many people, and then on top of that, you get to meet new faces, new people every single night. Like, it's something new. I mean, you're still doing the same work, but it's new faces and new people that really get me. Like, I love it.
Yeah.
I love interacting with people. It's my favorite. Like, everybody is just so different, and in the cities you go to, you can tell how different people are. It's funny, like, I used to love the East Coast. I loved it. And then for a while, we did, like, a bunch of East Coast shows. I think it might have been when we were with Blue October, actually. But I was just over it. Like, East Coast, just tired of it already. And then you go to California, and it feels like home.
Yeah.
Even though it's not Texas, totally, it's like the closest
It's laid
thing to
back.
Texas. Yeah, I mean, everybody's so friendly. Well, I can't say everybody, but the majority of people are friendly. And like, you feel the culture, like, not as bad as you do here in San Antonio. Like, you know, I mean, we live with our culture. I mean,
Oh, yeah.
It's just like busting at the seams here. But over there, like, I guess you can relate to the dark-haired girl down the road, or, you know. So it's different to go from coast to coast and see the difference.
Yeah.
And like I said, I loved East Coast. Now I love the West Coast.
So what's the friendliest place? The friendliest state or city? Or...
San Antonio. San Antonio.
San Antonio?
Yeah, seriously. I've always said that there's a few places that I would actually move to. New York would be one if I wanted that fast pace, like, always on the go.
Yeah.
Just because it's so, like, I don't know what it is about New York, but it's just like, you feel like
invigorated.
Yeah, like, there's just nothing like you can't do. Like, it's just like, let's do it, whatever it is, let's do it. And that's how New York makes you feel. And like, the people, of course, they're doing their own shit, so they don't care about what you're doing. So you can be standing there and nobody would give a shit. You have to make shit happen for yourself in New York.
Yeah.
And that's what's really cool about it. So New York, for a second, I was like, I would move there. Now I wouldn't.
Nice place to visit.
It's nice to go and like spend some time, but I would not move there. So New York is not a place that, I mean, it's an awesome city to go and visit, and I absolutely love it, but I would not move there. Chicago, I love, and I would move there. I like the fact that they have all 4 seasons and not just like hot and hotter. Yeah.
Which right now we're in the middle of hotter.
Yes. Oh God. And then I love Portland. I know it's, you know, hipster, Portlandia, whatever, but even before any of that, like, I think it has a lot to do with the people who we know in Portland, and they're just like such great people. And I like that Portland kind of feels like Austin, like it has a little bit, so you kind of feel a little bit of home, even though Austin really is nothing like San Antonio. It's still, I don't know how to
kind of familiar.
Yeah, there's like but it's just beautiful. It's beautiful there. Like, the scenery is just lovely. Like, I absolutely love it. And where we would stay, our friends had this beautiful porch, and it like overlooked, and you see, like, I don't know, it's just gorgeous. It's just beautiful. And I love the weather because it's not hot, and even when it is hot, it's not. And so Portland would be a city that I would want to move to. So would be Long Beach. I love Long Beach.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But San Antonio is still going to be home for a
San
while.
Antonio will always be home, yeah. Yeah, because if I were to move, I would probably come back within, after a year or two. Like, I'd be like, oh, okay, I'm done.
Tend to stay away.
Yeah, because San Antonio is an awesome city. Everybody is so friendly, and you just...
There's a San Antonio spirit, I think, that
Yeah.
everybody kind of has. Aside from hanging out with the girls, if you could choose any band to tour manage for, who would it be?
I enjoy Piñata.
Yeah.
I would do it with them too. I would, that sounds kind of funny. No, I would totally tour manage with them.
Yeah.
I know right now they have Head On. And, you know, but I would definitely, like, if they needed somebody, yeah, I would definitely do it with them. Just because I know the way the boys are, and I'm not easily disgusted. So, and boys can be
I was going to
girls.
say, so, yeah, you've only had experience with the girls so far, and that's totally different
The thing
in a
about
way.
it is, yeah, it is different, but I have the mentality of a guy. Like, I think the way a guy thinks. Like, Yeah, it's like if I had two heads and I was thinking with my lower head.
Gotcha.
Yeah, it's weird. Like, I don't know. I've always been like that. I've always...
You could still relate.
Yeah, definitely.
Either way, the girls or
like
out there.
I can hold my own, yeah. And they know it too. Like, they know that I'll call them out on whatever. And, like, I have. Even... In fact, it's funny. They said that the first time that they... Like, I talked to them was when the girls had played Just Sobbies and the boys opened. I don't even remember what show it was, but they opened for them. And that I had, they said that they told me that I was a bitch to them because that I went up to them and I said, hey, look, the girls are really busy today, so don't talk to them. Just leave them alone. Let them do what they're doing. And they said that I was a bitch about it.
But you got the job done.
And I was like, I was just doing what I had to do, all right? I was like, don't hate because I was doing my job. But yeah, the guys are awesome. I love them, and I would definitely, if they needed me to go on the road with them, I would definitely do it. And it wouldn't be like, I would know what needed to be done as far as dealing with them.
Yeah.
You just... And they're pretty good. I mean, if you tell them something, it's just like, oh, okay, yeah. Like, it's just... You're not doing it to show that you're their boss or, I'm in charge of you. No, it's not like that at all. In fact,
you guys are on the same team.
Yeah, it's not like that at all. At all. Like, granted, sometimes you have to put your foot down and say, hey, no, look, we have to be up at this time, and we can't stop, and we can't do this. We don't have time today. But then there's times when you're just like, yeah, man, let's do it. Because why not, If you do have the time, then yeah. And that's the way it is. Like, it's just a day-by-day thing. Mm-hmm. Depending on your schedule and where you have to be, and if you have any interviews or anything like that, you have to make all that work around the schedule.
Right.
So, I don't know. I would definitely work with the guys. I think the fact that I know the guys and I know how they are on the road makes a difference. Because there's some bands that can tour and they don't take it seriously. Like if you're going to tour, you know that you have to be as sharp as possible. So you need to go and practice. You need to do that. You need your band practices in order to stay sharp on the road when you do go to your first show, because you're going to be representing your city in other cities. Mm-hmm. And if you go to, and you play your first show in this city, this new city, and, you're missing keys, you're missing beats, that reflects on San Antonio. Like, you may not think that, but it totally does. Like, they're going to be like, oh, this band's from San Antonio? I didn't enjoy them. They didn't sound good. They didn't sound like they were put together.
It's already for San Antonio, I think. We are definitely in the shadow of Austin.
Yes, musically. Exactly. I definitely agree with that. So, I think that I just don't see a passion like that in... there's other bands that, I know that they're doing things and stuff, but I have not seen a passion the way I see with Piñata and with the girls in any other band. There's bands that do tour and they do good stuff, but I feel like, like they don't know when to separate business and pleasure. Sometimes going to a venue and getting super trash, that's not something that you want to have to deal with. When people are paying to go see you, you have to give them something. They're paying to go see you.
Right.
So you need to really, granted, I drink. I love to drink, actually. But when I'm on the road, if I do have anything, because I know that I'm dealing with money and I'm dealing with numbers, and it's not my money, it's the girls' money. Mm-hmm. I'm not gonna do something to where I would be jeopardizing my counts or messing with their money and losing money from them. I wouldn't do that. So if I'm there and I feel like I need to drink, or not need to, but I want a drink, I'll have a beer, maybe two, but that's it. I won't get all trash, because I know that I have to count at the end of the night. I have to make sure we get paid at the end of the night. I have to put my business face on, Right. And if I am sloshed, I can't do that. I'm gonna look like an idiot.
That's another good tip for people that want to get into the business then.
Yeah, exactly.
You gotta maintain your composure.
Exactly. It's fine to have a drink every now and then, or and you can have a drink every show if you wanted to. but limit yourself. You know, one,
Be
two,
smart.
don't get drunk. You're working. What other job can you go and get fucking trash? No, there's no job like that. You know, so there's no reason for you to be, even if you're in a band, any band member will tell you that they've had that one time where they got so drunk, they fucked up on stage, they threw up on stage, they did something, and they made a fool of themselves. So then they learn from that, and then they don't do it like that. Then they limit themselves, because they all have to push that limit in order to realize, oh, shit.
That's my limit.
Yeah, I need to not go that far. And so after they go through that experience, then they'll be like, oh, okay, no, I don't drink. I mean, I'll have like maybe 2 before, but then after the show I'll drink.
Yeah.
And that's fine.
Business first.
Exactly. And that's the way it should be.
Yeah.
And that's why I won't drink a lot, because I know that I have to handle numbers. I have to make sure that things get done at the end of the night. And if I'm drunk, how am I supposed to do that?
Right.
So, yeah, that's definitely a good tip to tell anybody who's interested in any kind of touring in general.
In general, yeah.
Interested in being the focus of a broadcast? Contact us at 210localmusic@gmail.com or info@210localmusic.com. And don't forget to like our Facebook page.
This concludes part 2 of my interview with Michelle Celeste, the tour manager for Girl in a Coma. Be sure to tune in next episode, which is solely dedicated to Michelle's next big project. If you've liked what you've heard so far, you definitely don't want to miss this one. Also, be sure to register for email on our website at 210localmusic.com. Follow us on Twitter, follow our Facebook page, do all the social media stuff. And also in recent developments, there's one thing that I do want to take note of. There's a local band that just recently started called Slow Like Fire. If you follow me on Twitter, you can definitely see that I've been retweeting quite a bit of their tweets. They recently put out a music video, and I got to tell you, they sound very well produced. Their sound is just big. I would probably liken them to AFI and Coheed and Cambria. So if you like those bands, you definitely want to check out Slow Like Fire. They're going to be having a CD release party at Jack's Patio on August 24th, I believe. You can definitely check out their website at slowlikefire.com and follow them on Twitter as well at slowlikefire. Feel free to give me any sort of feedback, specifically on the website, through Twitter. Let me know who you'd like to hear next as far as local musicians or artists, entertainers in greater San Antonio area, and I'll definitely take a look into seeing if I can get them on the show. I would really love for this to be an interactive type of podcast, as well as a launching pad for bands that maybe don't have a lot of social media hype around them yet, or don't have any sort of social media coverage yet. I would love for this to be their easy route to a lot of fans. So definitely please follow, rate on iTunes, comment anywhere and everywhere, even if it's negative comments. If it's some sort of feedback that I can use to make the show any better, I definitely welcome all of it. Again, be sure to check out Slow Like Fire. My Name is Billie Jean Baby is their single that's out right now. And that's all that I have for this episode, so thanks again for tuning in, and I'll see you all next time. Take care.
Everybody says, baby, that you're something.